Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the recursion. Recursion actually a very important topic and a very interesting concept, recursion. So, very first, let's see the definition of recursion. So, what is the meaning of recursion? Recursion means a repetition. Recursion means a repetition, and when any function calls itself, means that function itself again and again, it is called recursive function. Means recursion is the process to call the when function calls itself again and again. So that repetition of calling is called the recursion. So here we have the one image which we have taken from one site. So as you can see here that here we have a main function, right? Main function here, and inside the main function we are calling one function named recurse. This recurse is the UDF, and we know what is UDF, right? So this is UDF. Now what is happening when we compile the program? So first it will start from the main, and when this recurse will come, this will be, the control will be jumped over here. So now we have void recurse, it's a function. So if you notice that inside this function, the same function recurs, and this function is calling itself. See, this recurse is calling itself, means the function inside the function, the same function. In short, that itself, it's very important term, function itself. This function calls itself again and again. Of course there must be some termination condition, but this type of condition, when you have one function and first time it will be called this way, right? But inside that function the same function is there, and then it will go. So every time when it will call itself, it will come inside the block, it will execute all the lines, and when it will come this line, again it will go up, right? So this way. So that's why we call that when a function calls itself again and again, we call it a recursive function. It's very easy but a very important concept. Now let's see that how to use it, right? How to use it. So here we have one example, and let's understand this example. So very first, here we have main function, right? Main function we have. Inside the main we have taken two variables, number and result, right? Okay, and now what we are doing, we are asking the user to enter the number. So we are storing some number in the number variable, and then we are calling one function. See, here we are calling this function sum, and we are passing the parameter number, and this function is returning some value, and so we have taken the result variable. So what will happen when this is calling, right? This is calling. So when this line will come for the execution, it will jump to this place, right? And it will be executed. Inside this, of course, and will take the value of number, then some condition is there, and based on, and after this condition we have said this, we are returning something. We're returning what? N plus something, and that is nothing but the function. So now what will happen when the compiler will catch this line, this when this will come, it will go to the, again it will come, again this line will come, then this line will come, and again it will find this, again it will go. So of course certain condition is there, and that condition is nothing but the n is not equal to 0. So as you can see here, that very first time we are calling this function, but when this function is getting executed, inside the block of this function the same function is there, and so it is calling itself again and again based on certain condition. So here we have this a recursive function, and this method, this process is called the recursion. Now let's understand how does this work. So here we have the explanation. This is the explanation. So what happens when the very first time we will call this is the okay. So here we have a result and sum. Let's say that your sum number contains 3. Let's say your number variable contains 3. So of course it will jump over here, right? It will jump. This is the first time. This is first time. So my n contains 3, right? This n contains 3. Now we have to check if n is not equal to 0. Yes, right now the value of n is 3, right? Right now the n is equal to 3. So 3 is not equal to 0. So it will come inside the if, and when it will come inside the if, okay, so when it will come inside the if, it will check, it has to return n plus sum of n minus 1, sum of n minus 1. But okay, this is function, so of course this function again call itself. So let's say that it is calling itself. So of course n minus 1 means right now my n will be 2, right? So here we have 2. We have 2. Again it will come inside the, okay, one thing, don't get confused. Here we have okay guys, don't get confused. This is our main function, and all this we are just for the ease we have written the function again and again, so don't get confused, right? This is the one original function. This is the original function, but for the ease of understanding we have written it repetitively. Okay, you only need to write the function once only, right? Okay, so now we have the value 2. Now after this place it will check n is not equal to 0. Yes, because we have 2. Then again it will come to this line, n plus sum n minus 1, and okay, n minus 1 means 1, right? So my 2 becomes 1, sorry, 1. Okay, 2 becomes 1. Okay, now 1. N is not equal to 0. Yes, 1 is not equal to 0. So again it will come to this line, n plus n minus 1, and n minus 1 means 0, right? N minus 1 means 0. So I got 0. Okay, it will come over here. Now n contains 0. N is not equal to 0, but it is 0. It is 0. It means this time this if will not executed. It is going into the else case, and when it will go to the else case, it has to return something. What it has to return? It has to return n, right? So where it will return? It will return at the place from where it was called, this place. So right now my n is 0. Right now your n is 0, right? N is 0, so it will return 0. So now my this place has a 0, and what is my n value? Value of n is current value of n. When it was called at this place, n was 1, right? At this point it was 1. See, here it was 1. So right now I have 1. This is 1 plus 0. So what whole I am returning this. So now it will return 1 plus 0, means I am returning 1. So it will come to this place. Okay, so now I have 1, means that 1 will come over here, right? 1 will come over here. And what is the value of n? The value of n is 2. It means total what I am returning? 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 means 3. So now I am returning 3 over here. Okay, now here I got 3. So this returned function will get 3. And what is n? N has a 3. So 3 plus 3. 3 plus 3 becomes 6. And this will return 6 to the main function. So now this place contains 6, right? And 6 will be assigned to the result. So my final output is 6. Final output is 6. So here you can see that your final answer is 6, right? Because finally what will happen when this final execution will come, this result will contain 6, and then we are simply printing sum is equal to %, which comes from the result. So this is about the recursion. Recursion means when a function calls itself again and again, that process is called the recursion, and then function is called the recursive function. This feature is basically used in the data structure. Yeah, the data structure. So this is about the recursion. Next thing we will see in the next class.